Right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect salmon conditions. We're fishing the Ibsley Weir pool. Lost a fish here 2 days ago, and just think there could be a salmon lying up here. We're probably going to spin it out here first, then get down to the back end and work our way through. So we'll give it a shot. I'm going to fish from this area here and take it on the back eddy. The salmon come in here and they swing round on the back eddy. You can see the back eddy here, so I'll be aiming to upstream it here, bring it back, and then take it round on the curve. This is what we're doing, feeding out to that weir, trying to get some action going here. We're going to stick with the MEPS 5. It's been so successful over the last couple of days, just to make sure the hooks are nicely pointed and straight, which they are. So we're ready to give that a go. Fishing 30 pound all the way through, 30 pound fluorocarbon. There's about 4 feet on there. I've got swivels built in as well, so I can weight them. I can Devon minnow this, and Paul's with me today. He's going to be prawning with fresh prawn up on the bridge at Ibsley, and we're going to come back to him and show you how that's done a bit later. But first of all, let's see whether we can get a fish out. So it's a flick cast, we're upping it, so there's a lot of weight on that MEPS 5. Let her drop for about 3 seconds and then just bring her up round. To salmon lying up, they tend to take it within 2 or 3 seconds of the cast on the flutter. As it's fluttering through the water, they just come out and hit it. I'm just going to work it gently through and just seeing if there's anything that might be up for this. I mean, I think we've got some weed here. You just pull out that weed. There's a lot of weed in the weir pool, so you've got to be careful. Well, that came out okay. Just shake her off and away we go. So we're working the clock. So up we go again. Let that sit for a couple of seconds and then just reel it back slowly, back towards us, and that's working quite nicely. There's even more weed out there, so it's quite a weedy flow here. I want to actually get back on the back of the tail, will be where majority of the salmon will lie up, but it's well worth just flicking out just in case we've got a full pool here and they will find their own little location. So I'm just working this pool carefully. I think the flying sea might work well here because they're heavy, they get down, they're visible, and also they are less likely to pick up weed because they're much smaller hooks, and they'll just run through it. But that's working well. I'm just working it below the surface in the hope that a salmon will come up on it, and we'll just keep flicking her out, keep working her, flick casting. You can see I'm working right to the edge of the weir and then just working her back, covering a lot of water today. I'm using my 9-foot spinning rod, purpose-built Northern Western. It's had a lot of salmon on it. It's beefy but sensitive, and we're using 30 pound braid to make sure that we're in touch with the fish and that we can cope with any big boys that might decide to make an appearance. So the spinner's looking very nicely. You can see how well it's working, and we'll just go out to the left-hand bank, get out there, let it sink, work it down, and then we'll work it back against the flow here. So we've got flow going out that way, back and round. So the MEPS is almost working by itself. Very little effort, just small retrieving, and hopefully we're getting salmon to hit it as it comes back on the flow. You've got nice clean gravel bars through here. Obviously with the weir, the weed doesn't get much of a chance to grow on the tail, and that's where the salmon tuck in just on the side, ready to run the weir. And just looking at the weir itself, there is a small little salmon run on the side which is used when the gates are shut, when they're eel fishing. The salmon can still run up, but I think predominantly I've been told the salmon run actually on the main weir itself, so they've got no problems getting through that powerful water. Salmon can travel up to 30 miles an hour, and they must run up there pretty powerfully, and they've got such powerful tails and paddles that they must just zoom up there and power up. I've yet to see one do it. I'd love to see a salmon running up that main weir. Wouldn't it be wonderful to get that on film? I think I'm told they do it at night time. So let's have a look and see where we are. Now it's just working through here beautifully. Just a little back eddy here. And again, the salmon will turn around and they'll face the back eddy on the flow, just resting and ready to run the main weir. They'll take probably, well, it could be 3 or 4 hours in the weir here. Could even be days before they run the weir. So there's always a chance there could be a few fish stacking up here. Everything feels good, everything feels right. The air temperature is about 19 degrees, the water temperature is about 13, so you've got a 6% differential. Overcast, perfect conditions for salmon fishing, hardly any wind, which is great news. So, right, we're just working down to the tail of the weir pool at Ibsley. I'm just walking our way through this bit of jungle warfare. It's not too bad. You just see the gravel bar here. It's the most beautiful gravel bar. Obviously, over the years, you can see that when it's flood tide through here, this little backstream just cuts through. You can see the effect of the tail runs all the way down here in flood. It dumps all this lovely, look at this lovely clean gravel. It's so pure and clean. Just look at it. It's superb. And this is what those fish like. They like clean gravel. And so the tree that's hanging down there is the key casting spot. We've got the main weir in front of us there. We've got the back eddy over there I've just fished out. We've got this little area here that could have salmon in it as well. But I think the main hot spot has to be, for me, off the tail itself. As you look at the flow going down towards Hoodies, that's what you've got there. You've got the sunken in tree, you've got the conker tree on the island, and you've got a fantastic bit of water there. It's a 4-foot gully that runs through there, and I've actually chest waded it 2 weeks ago through there, so I know for a fact that there's a deep gully there, and that's where the salmon are likely to lie up. So we'll do a couple of flick casts. We'll just check to make sure that everything is good, make sure it's all good to go. I think it is. Spinner's okay, the knots are all okay, the MEPS is working fine, everything looks fine. I might just straighten up my hooks a bit before we go. Check your hooks, make sure they're sharp, take the barbs off them, which I have done, and then what we'll do is we'll just make sure they're all properly tight, just making sure all my hooks are correctly balanced like that. Just tuck them in, and that's all lovely. They're all barbed, so I think that will be a better holding now. Maybe I lost the fish because I had a little bit of wear and tear on these hooks yesterday. I lost a 20, or 2 days ago, I lost a 25 out of Tizzards, and I've lost a fish here at the net, but that is up for the job now. So let's just I borrowed Paul's chest waders. I've got leaks in my chest waders, so Paul's very kindly lent me his size 12s. So I feel like a Michelin man, but as long as I'm watertight, I don't feel any water, I'm going to be a happy bunny. It all feels okay. There's no water coming in, so we should be okay. Right, let's give it a flick cast. Is the way to go. So we're going to go up into that zone there, and then we're just going to bring it back slowly, just slowly like this. The clutch is set, ready to go. Just bringing it back, and that's just fine. Bring it back, let it curl round, on the curl, and that flickering through there is absolutely superb. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And then we go again, and we're going to go up the tail to that position. We're going to let that sit for 3 or 4 seconds, and we're going to just reel that back towards us really slowly. You can imagine how slow this is. It's a slow retrieve. So there could be a salmon lying up there. We're just going to see. Nice slow retrieve. The blade's working beautifully. You can feel the vibration coming through the rod. That's absolutely brilliant. No problems with that at all. So all the way through, and you can see how the spinner's working. I'll show you, ladies and gentlemen. Just look at that. That's beautiful. I might get the underwater camera on there and just show you the spinner underwater, how she's working, and the sound as well. But flick cast under the tree, that's the position. Now we're in the zone, and just work around nice and gently, waiting for a take now. See if one will go. We've got weed to our right, so we've got to keep her out of the weed if she does go. But that's working beautifully, absolutely beautifully.